All right, let's talk about what happens after the initial AI excitement wears off. We're going beyond the hype and digging into the really critical next step for any business: how you strategically find and launch your next wave of AI use cases, turning those early experiments into massive company-wide success.
So, your team did it. You launched that first AI assistant or you automated a painful report. You've tasted the value, you've got that initial win under your belt. Awesome. But the million-dollar question is, now what? So many organizations hit what's called the AI plateau, right, where all the low-hanging fruit has been picked, and suddenly the path forward isn't so clear. This is where the real strategic work actually begins.
So, to help you get off that plateau, we've broken this whole thing down into 5 super actionable parts. First, we're going to understand the plateau itself. Then, we'll explore the 3 main types of opportunities to look for. From there, we'll get practical with a framework for discovery, a method for prioritizing, and finally, a plan for actually building your roadmap.
Okay, first up, the AI scaling plateau. The biggest insight here is that the mindset that got you your first win is not going to get you your 10th. It really requires a fundamental shift from accidental sort of one-off discoveries to a very intentional, systematic strategy for finding and implementing AI across the board.
Think about this mindset shift for a second. Your first wins, they were probably driven by a couple of really enthusiastic people reacting to some obvious painful problem. It was low risk, and you learned a ton. But strategic scaling, that's a totally different ballgame. It's like going from fixing one broken light bulb in a hallway to mapping out the entire electrical grid of your building. It needs a system. It needs a plan. You can't just wait for inspiration to strike again.
So, if we need to be systematic, where do we even start looking? Well, the first step is to get that not all AI opportunities are created equal. By sorting them into 3 main buckets, you can focus your energy and your resources where they're going to have the biggest impact.
First up, you've got your horizontal opportunities. Think of these as the Swiss Army knives of AI. They're tools that pretty much anyone in any department can use, like an AI writing assistant for emails, or a tool that helps analyze sales data. These are fantastic for building that broad, company-wide momentum and just getting everyone comfortable with using AI day to day.
Next, we have the opposite, vertical opportunities. These don't go wide, they go deep. They're like a surgeon's scalpel, highly specialized applications for one specific business function. We're talking about an AI that does nothing but review legal contracts, or one that analyzes medical scans. Yeah, they take more effort, but nailing a vertical opportunity can create a huge, defensible competitive advantage for your business.
And finally, there are supporting opportunities. Honestly, these might be my favorite. These are the unsung heroes of AI. They focus on all that back-end, internal work. Things like cleaning up messy data, generating test cases for developers, or summarizing long meeting notes. They might not be flashy, but they often give you the biggest bang for your buck in terms of raw time saved, freeing up your teams from all that tedious, repetitive work.
So, what's the playbook here? How do you sequence these for the best results? Well, the smartest strategy is to start with a mix of those horizontal and supporting opportunities. That builds broad adoption and gives you quick efficiency wins right out of the gate. Once you have that momentum, then you can make those bigger, more focused bets on 1 or 2 deep vertical dives that will truly transform a core part of your business.
Okay, so we know what to look for, but how do we find these opportunities systematically? Let's be real, most companies just stumble on a fraction of their potential AI use cases. To uncover the rest, you need a discovery framework.
This framework turns discovery from a guessing game into a repeatable process. It's just 3 simple steps. First, you audit your current workflows to find that hidden potential. Second, you evaluate each opportunity to see if it's actually a good fit for AI. And third, you calculate the potential return on investment to really quantify the value.
And here's how you turn evaluation from a gut feeling into a data-driven decision. You're looking for those strong signals. Does it save more than 40 hours a month? I mean, that's a full work week. Does it involve language or clear patterns that AI is great at? And this is a big one. Is the team itself asking for it? Weak signals, like a skeptical team or something that needs a ton of custom development, those are clear signs to maybe put that idea on the back burner for now.
All right, once you've evaluated the fit, it's time to calculate the ROI. And don't worry, you don't need a complex financial model for this. A simple payback period formula is often all you need to compare different projects. You just divide the total cost to get it up and running by the annual value you expect to get back. Simple as that.
And this simple little calculation can show you some seriously powerful results. For example, For an AI email assistant for a customer service team, the payback period was, get this, just 2.3 months. I mean, wow, that's an incredibly strong signal that this project should be a really high priority. Okay, so now you've got a list of strong candidates, all with a positive ROI. The new problem is you can't do everything at once. And this brings us to the absolutely critical step of prioritization, figuring out not just what to do, but in what order. And the best tool for this job is a classic for a reason, the 2x2 impact versus effort matrix. It's such a simple, visual way to map out all your ideas and see a natural priority list just emerge right in front of you.
This matrix gives you 4 super clear quadrants. Your top priority is always that top left corner, high impact, low effort. These are your quick wins. You do these first, no questions asked, to build momentum. Then in the top right, you've got your strategic initiatives. They're worth the effort, but you tackle them after you've built some confidence. The bottom left, optional tasks. And the bottom right, just avoid those entirely. They're a total resource trap.
So, we've identified opportunities, and we've prioritized them. The final piece of this puzzle is turning that prioritized list into a real, tangible, shareable plan of action, your AI roadmap.
And your roadmap doesn't need to be some overly complicated thing. A simple timeline approach like this works great. For the first 6 months or so, just focus on launching those quick wins to build team confidence. Then you can start tackling your bigger strategic projects. And this is so important. You have to build in time to reevaluate. This thing should be a living document, not some rigid contract set in stone. And as you're executing this roadmap, please be on the lookout for these common red flags. Trying to do way too much at once is a classic mistake. So is chasing the cool new shiny object instead of what actually delivers impact. And critically, don't ignore your team's readiness or forget to support the very tools that gave you your first successes.
You know, when you boil it all down, this entire process really comes down to one single powerful idea. Scaling AI isn't about luck. It's not about stumbling on to the next big thing. The companies that really truly succeed are the ones that engineer that success through a deliberate, structured process.
So that leaves us with one final question for you to think about for your own organization. Are you still just stumbling upon AI success and kind of hoping for the best? Or are you ready to start engineering it? Thanks for joining us.